Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. I'm really excited to show you the results of the vertical drainage. I've been receiving emails from across the country and around the world telling me how well the system works for them. You know, it's funny because in England, in the UK, they kind of went for the soak-away. Here in the US, pretty much just straight vertical drainage. But take a look. I'm going to show you 3 examples. One of them will work for you. Remember, we're not trying to get rid of the horizontal drain. That's the French drain, yard drain, catch basins. There's definitely applications for that. But for less than $10, we can solve that puddle that forms in the yard, especially when you can't send it to the street. This is an easy project, one that you only take you 20 minutes to do. Take a look. Here's the end of a thunderstorm that happened just the other day. Look at the difference that this makes in the yard. I mean, this is a vertical drain, goes down 2 feet. The secret is to get below the hard pan. So here is 3 different ways to install a vertical drain. Watch to the end and see the new footage of the results. Here's a great video for the DIY, solving a drainage problem for under $10. And we're going to find out if it works. We're going to test it when we're done. But this is called vertical drainage. And I want you to see this because this could change everything as far as yard drains and French drains. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. You know, I came across a bunch of videos from the Netherlands. And these videos are about vertical drainage. In other words, it's not horizontal where we run French drains and yard drains, things like that. But this goes straight down in the ground. Very economical, budget friendly. Take a look. What we're going to do is dig some holes and see if it actually works. We've got to get down below the hard pan, so it depends on how deep your hard pan is, but 24 inches is about the right depth. So take a look. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off a section of sod. Use your shovel. Cut off a square section about 9 square inches. Pop this out just like a plug and set it over on your tarp. We're going to put that back when we're done. Next, we're going to use the post hole diggers. Remember, we got to get down about at least 24 inches. Your hard pan might be deeper than that. It could be 36 or even 48 inches. So you got to get down below that hard pan. So I saw a bunch of videos from a channel in Finland, and they were using what's called vertical drainage. Although they did not show the results, it looked like an interesting project. So using your post hole diggers, dig down at least 24 inches or to your hard pan. So a 22-inch hole or 24-inch hole. Some fabric, just push it down in. Then we're going to put some gravel in there. You see that gravel right up to grade. Go ahead and fold your fabric back over, stuff it down in, put your sod back on. Vertical drainage. Will it work? So we're going to cut a couple more holes here. The same thing, use your shovel, cut off a 9 by 9 square inch piece of sod, set it over on your plastic. Go ahead and use those post hole diggers, dig out that hole. Here's another section. So I'm going to put 3 small holes in here and fill them up with gravel just like we did with the first one. And we're going to test this system to see if it works. Pour that gravel in. Remember, we got to fold that fabric over the top. Set the sod back on, push it down in place. The final hole, I'm just going to pour gravel and no fabric at all. I'm just going to pour it in there to see what happens with that. The water still should move down into the hard pan or below the hard pan and be carried away. Put your sod back on, and we're ready to test this system. Let's see what it does. Will it work? Vertical drainage. Okay, so after a rainfall, I know it's hard to see in the video. I'm zooming it in so you can actually see it, but it really did remove the water. And it was a pretty good rainfall, so that area flooded and that water disappeared, as you can see. There's still a little bit of puddling, but I think that will disappear within an hour and it will be all gone. So, for $10, vertical drainage. If you have no place to send your rainwater and your puddles, this will work. And it is a great way to remove standing water in your yard. It is much different than the French drain or the yard drain and catch basins. This is vertical drainage. You got to get down below the hard pan to make it work. After a large rainfall, you can kind of see this area just holds water right here. What we're going to do is put in some vertical drainage, a soak away and a catch basin as collection. Take a look and learn how to do this for a fraction of the cost of the French drain. So this is how we set this up. You can see we're using a milk crate. You can get that from Home Depot or Lowe's for about $10. You need a piece of solid pipe and a catch basin. $15 catch basin. Next we're going to go ahead and cut the sod off. Use your shovel, trace around the area. Take your time when you're cutting your sod so that it looks good. Remember, we're going to put the sod back when we're done. Now go ahead and pull those big plugs of sod out, leaving a good amount of dirt on the bottom. Next, go ahead and trench the area. If you have a wheelbarrow to haul this dirt away, great. If not, set it onto the plastic and you'll haul it away when you're done. Remember, the catch basin goes in the lowest point where we saw that deep water on the opening of the video. So we need to get down about 2 feet down to the hard pan. Here in Florida, we usually hit groundwater at 24 to 36 inches, and you can see that groundwater. Now we need to set up the milk crate as the soak-away. We need to cover this milk crate with a geotextile fabric, and what we're going to do is pour the gravel around the outside of this crate. That makes the soak-away. We are not going to fill the crate with gravel, rather leave it open so that the water can collect inside and make it a chamber. This way it will soak out through the geotextile fabric into the soil. Wrap the crate with your geotextile fabric. We will cut this to length and tape this together so that it stays put. Now create the opening for your pipe from the catch basin. You can use tin snips. They cut this plastic really easily. Lay out your geofabric across your hole. Next, go ahead and set your crate down inside. We're going to try to pour this around the sides of the milk crate. We want it to soak away. Just pour it in all the way around the sides. This was just some leftover gravel, but it's plenty. Then we're going to use a fresh bag to finish it off. Okay, we're ready to backfill. It's always a good idea to turn that shovel upside down and really pack it around things like basins or your sump pit. Because that way you know it's really tight and packed around and it won't settle anymore. So from the catch basin, we collected the water, goes through that solid pipe over to our soak-away, which was the milk crate. And that is like a chamber, so it's kind of like a dry well, but it's more, we really need to call it a soak-away because the water is going to soak out into the soil. So even with a brief shower, you can see that the catch basin is collecting that water. Water is running into our catch basin, over to the soak-away, and it's being carried out through the gravel into the soil. Yeah, there's a little bit of pooling, but nothing like it was before. So a little bit spongy, but nothing like that flood. That milk crate is right here, and I can hear the water running down. It's working so good. Vertical drainage, a fraction of the cost of a French drain. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. You know, I've been experimenting with vertical drainage, using milk crates as soakaways and catch basins connecting to that, and it's working pretty good. But today we're going to try another test. Take a look, tell me what you think. So the other day I was at Lowe's and I found a piece of 12-inch culvert pipe that was just laying there, and then I saw that they had this catch basin grate on sale for $5. And look at that, it fits perfectly inside there. This is a great experiment for our vertical drainage. Let's go ahead and dig this area out, fill it with gravel, and let it rain, see what it does. So here's the area that floods. You can see it's about, 2 inches deep by 6 or 8 feet wide. Pretty good area that really just holds water for days and days. If you have an area that holds water and you can't put a drain in out to the street, a French drain or catch basins or a sump pump, vertical drainage may be the answer. Let's take a look at this and see how cost effective and easy it is to do. So the first thing we need to do is dig a hole that's large enough to put that culvert pipe down in. That culvert pipe's about 18 inches deep, so we'll go about 24 inches deep. You can also use the post hole diggers. They work really well to dig down through hard soil. In fact, they may work better than the shovel. It's best to put your dirt into the wheelbarrow. That way it's easy to haul away. You could lay it out on plastic, but we're putting in the barrel and just haul away when we're done. Now that we have our hole dug, we can take an old piece of geofabric and just stretch it across the hole. Then we take our culvert pipe. Now remember, we went ahead and perforated that culvert. We drilled holes all the way around so that water could escape as it rains. Next, pour some gravel around the outside of your drain. This will allow the water to escape through the holes we drilled into the ground and be carried away. Vertical drainage. This is much more cost effective than putting in a French drain or catch basin. Vertical drainage allows that water to go down into the ground and soak away. As I researched all these videos from Finland, I noticed that what they're really doing is they're transferring the flood that's on top of the ground down underground. By giving it a chamber with lots of gravel, they're transferring that flood down underground. This allows the water to be soaked up by the subsurface soil. But the real question is, does it work? Now, I've made a couple of videos showing how it works on a smaller area. This is a fairly large flood. So let's see what this really does after a good rainfall. We'll find out. Like I said, this is a really cost-effective way to remove water. All of those videos I watched from Finland and other places, they didn't show results. So watch to the end to see the results. Okay, got our gravel poured around the outside. It's all encased in the fabric. Remember, we perforated the culvert pipe, drilled holes in it. Go ahead and tuck your fabric in. You can see how I tucked it around the sides there. Then we're going to put our sod. My sod's not very strong, so I kind of have to piece it together to put it around there. But that's not a problem. It's still going to grow back around that area without any worries at all. So we piece it together, push it down in, make it tight. We're ready to test the system. Okay, we're ready for it to rain. See how well this vertical drain works. So we just had a pretty good rainfall. I'm going to try to zoom in here so you can kind of see it. But yeah, it's still a little bit spongy. As you can see that water bit right there. It's still a little bit holding water, but that's going to disappear pretty quick. Vertical drainage. This is a project that you can easily do yourself and truly save a great deal of money. So the first thing we're going to do is cut off a section of sod. We want to cut off about a 9 by 9 section. Just use your shovel, 9 by 9, and pop out this plug. Set that over on your tarp because we're going to put that back. Next, using your post hole diggers, go ahead and dig down to the hard pan. Got to get down to the hard pan for this to work. So we want to get down about 24 inches. You can hear me hitting the hard pan right there. Once you get down to about 24 inches, you should be below your hard pan. So here's our vertical drain. We need a little piece of fabric. It doesn't matter what kind of fabric it is, as long as it's a good fabric that drains out. We're going to push it down into the hole, open it up. We're going to fill this up with gravel. We're going to fill this up with gravel. This is gravel by the bag. It's 1.5 inch crushed, washed stone. You can find it at Lowe's or Home Depot. About $5 a bag. Really easy to do this. You can see I brought the gravel all the way to grade. Now we just fold the fabric over. Now fold the fabric over. Take your sod, put it back on the top. And we're ready to test out vertical drainage. So I'm going to dig one more hole. I'm not going to cut sod, I'm just going to use my post hole diggers. Well, we might be able to put that back. But we're going to get down to the hard pan. Just use your post hole diggers. Try to get as deep as you can. You can hear that hard pan. Hear it? That's just super hard soil. It's non-permeable, and it won't let water go through it. If you don't know what the hard pan is, this is a non-permeable soil, and it's like rock hard. So we've got a hole about 24 inches deep. We're going to use another piece of fabric. Just push it in, open it up, and we're going to pour some gravel down in that hole. Gravel by the bag. If you've been living with these puddles in your yard, especially if they're up by the house, or maybe you step off of your front steps and you step right into a puddle, you can do this. It doesn't matter if you're 65 or 45. This is an easy project and budget friendly. Try to bring your gravel as close to grade as possible. Then fold your fabric over. There was a little bit of sod, so I'm going to set that back on top. Throw some dirt in there. Now we just need to clean up the area, haul that old dirt away. That's no good. We got to get rid of that. Let's just see, let it rain, let's see what it does. Let's do one more hole right here. And again, I'm not too worried about my sod. We just want to get down to the hard pan. There it is. Post hole diggers really do a great job to dig a straight down hole. Shovel works, but the post hole diggers really are a little bit better. Remember, we want to get below that hard pan, about 24 inches deep. I'm really excited about this project, and I hope that you guys try this out. This could really change things here in the industry. Yes, we still need French drains, and we need catch basins and things like that, but what if we can solve these smaller problems for under $10? You guys can do this. This is an easy DIY project. I can't wait to see the results. So a third hole, 24 inches deep, little piece of landscape fabric, push it down in. Now we're going to pour some gravel in here. Pour some gravel in. We want to bring that gravel to grade. Perfect. See, we brought that gravel right up to the top. Fold this over, tuck it down in, and what I'm going to do here is actually put a grate on the top. So I put a grate on the top. Now all we need to do is step it down. And let it rain. We'll haul this old soil away. So we just had a pretty good rainfall, and yeah, there's some spongy areas. You can see that, but look how much difference there is in this area that we put the vertical drains. That is just amazing. It really did work pretty good. What I want to show you though, is, remember I've talked about fabric and how it slows down the inflow of water. So area 1, area 2, we have fabric all the way around it, right up to the top. But where we have the grate, watch this. This is amazing. That looks like it'll take water all day. Straight into the ground, below the hard pan. Look at that. Vertical drainage. The secret is to get below the hard pan. I know this is a long video of squirting a garden hose down on the ground, but you know what? If you're really serious about solving a problem for under $10, this works. Look at that. I'm putting that water directly into the vertical drain. It just has a catch basin lid on the top of it, a grate, and it's going straight down. I'm also showing you just a vertical drain with sod on the top. You see that? The water's going straight down into the ground. But what's really amazing is where this grate is. I'm going to pull that lid off of there, pull the grate off, and you can see the gravel. You know, I've talked about fabric and how it slows down the inflow of water. But watch this. Where's all that water going? A lot of people call this a dry well, but it really is not. It's vertical drainage. And the secret is you need to get below the hard pan to make it work. Look at this. This will take water all day, and I truly tested it out. You can do the same. I promise this is not a hard project. If you have an area in the yard that's holding water and you can't send it to the street, so you can't put a French drain or a yard drain in there with catch basins, try this out. I think you'll be very surprised with the results. Remember, French drains and catch basins, this is a very costly way to move water. The secret here is you've got to get below the hard pan to make it work. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. There were a number of comments from senior citizens, actually, about this project on the first video, and I really hope that they gave it a try. This is not hard to do. It doesn't take a lot of energy. You can do this.